Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I hope you had a great time dancing around with the Torah. As Sukkot ended and we celebrated the great book of instruction with Simchat Torah, a celebration of life, a celebration of the instructions. We now begin again. But unlike so many books or movies where we know how it ends and do not do it again, we actually relish our ability to read it again because we get something new and different each time. Now, this was a book designed to be read once you have already read it. You revisit it knowing how it will impact what will come, and what comes is read with the knowledge of what was established early. It is truly unique. There had never been another book written like this. History had never been told like this. God had never been depicted like this. The Torah's accounts are the first human attempts to recount history. Now, the first 11 chapters establish a connection between God and the entire universe. They depict the formation of a relationship between the Creator and all the families of the earth, and then it shifts and narrows. So let's go back to the beginning and keep in mind that all you need is love and intention and openness to let the universal energy flow through you. All the lessons we learned from reading and thinking before continue on and encourage us, and our goals remain to become more mindful. And in doing so, you can become more detached. We want to become more approachable and therefore less exclusive. We want to become more graceful, therefore a little bit less judgmental. We want to become more self-giving and therefore less self-absorbed. And we want to become more bold and therefore less fearful. And remember, fear is your only true enemy. No matter what, please do continue to spread love and forgiveness and healing to all you know in need of renewal, and see the blessings in your life. See the miracles, see the beauty, see the growth, see the opportunity, because these are the things that are everywhere. Take some time and make sacred time and sacred space a part of your life, even if it's only for 15 minutes a week, a half hour, whatever you can do. As we gather now to renew the reading of the scrolls, we gather as a community, a chavura, a fellowship, supporting each other as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, socially, spiritually, to come gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, community, community. Together, let's all spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world everywhere. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. Let's take some time now to send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. The world needs it. Healing and renewal for everyone. Float through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam, the healing of the world that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. So let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need, for those in our hearts and our minds, for Heather and Frank, for Adrian, for Dan, for Bob, Karen, for John, for Helen, for Tally, for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, the goodwill and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world's a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Shabbat, Avotenu Bakor Bimotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us, help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. Yishaberach, let us all of our spirits renewed, my friends. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Yishaberach, may He who blessed. Because all healing is a blessing, let us all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, in these last few weeks, we finished the Torah. We've had a whole bunch of holidays. And here we are starting at the beginning again. Bereshit, in the beginning. Now, where do you start? What I'm calling the cosmic Torah. It sucks you in. Think of that opening scene in the original Star Wars back in '77 when you saw that ship take up the entire motion picture screen. A little different feeling than it would have opened at dinner with Luke, his aunt, and his uncle. With one, it was wow. With the other, it would be, to quote David Crosby, meh. It's hard to believe, but it's the first 11 chapters only. And that takes two parshas, Bereshit and Noah. And unfortunately, the cosmic Torah left out the best book of all, the book of Enoch, the man who had the distinct privilege of walking with God. If you want to read a phenomenal book, read it, the book of Enoch. But by and large, these first 11 chapters of Genesis are concerned with origins, not eventualities. It's concerned with the past, not the future. But the God of the Torah was different than had been seen before, creating all of nature, and therefore not knowable or identifiable through any one element of nature. One could learn no more about this God by contemplating the sea than by contemplating grain, the sky, or anything else. The essence of this God always remains hidden. One does not know God through nature, but by the divine acts in history. One never finds out what God is, but rather what God does and what God says. Now, the primeval history, in contrast to what will follow in Genesis, cultivates a kind of narrative that's fable-like, even legendary, and sometimes quite mythic. The human actors in these stories are kept at a certain distance and seem more generalized types than individual characters with distinct personal histories. The human creature is now to be represented not against the background of the heavens and the earth and civilization as such, but rather with the tense and constricted theater of paternal domain, a tent, wheat field, sheepfold, in the rhythms of existence, working out all hopes of grand destiny in the twist of familial relationships, the internal, sometimes deadly, warring of brothers, fathers and sons and wives. Where do you start? When the most famous book in the world begins by telling you, in the beginning, when God began to create heaven and earth. Genesis 1:1, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz. To be a little anthropomorphic, most people picture God entering an empty space and starting to create ex nihilo from nothing. It's all clear, and it's waiting for creation to start. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, bright sunshine in day. Now, the great Johnny Nash just recently died. But that's not quite what it was. It continues. And the earth had been welter and waste, shapeless and formless, and darkness over the deep. Now notice it said the earth had been. Here's a case in which a tiny point of grammar makes an incredible difference. That is, it had already existed. in this shapeless condition prior to the creation we're reading about. The creation of matter in the Torah is not out of nothing, as many have claimed. There was this gaudy mass of welter and waste already sitting there. And from this pre-existing mass, the creation we're reading about takes place. And it is by separating and dividing creation from segregation. Nowhere does the Torah claim to be telling events from the beginning of time. But God does create one thing for us. Genesis 1:3. And God's breath hovering over the waters, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's all right. Light was the one thing created. Everything else existed and came into being from the act of separation and division. And that, dear friends, becomes the theme of the entire Torah, between peoples, families, foods, rituals, separation and division. Books can be written on those first three sentences alone. Now, while there's so much to talk about in the beginning parsha, in this opening book of the Torah, be it the creation and structure of the universe through the separation of matter, or maybe even by the twin tales of creation and how they're different, or by the only talking animal in the cosmic Bible and the role it plays and the karma it carries, or the story of original sin, the expulsion from the garden. Better yet, maybe the first murder and the role of sibling rivalry. But you know what? Every year something different happens. And what struck me this year that I'm going to talk about is something else completely instead. I'm going to talk about the first emotion in the Bible. Right after the second creation story, which you know is written by someone other than who wrote the first, and you know because of the words used. Look for the words. In the first, God was Elohim, now he is Yahweh. In the first, God summoned into being from a distance with sound. But now he crafts or fashions. But we have the first emotion in the Bible, and that emotion is shame. Shame, shame, shame. Hey, shame on you. Genesis 2:25, and the two of them were naked, the human and his woman, and they were not ashamed. Well, this immediately suggests nakedness and shame go together. Why? Do they still? You bet. And it is in their ignorance that they don't realize the connection. So they meet the serpent, not snake, but that's a whole other lecture. And they talk about what God said. Genesis 3:4. For God knows that on the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will become as gods, knowing good and evil. So she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her man, and he ate. And the eyes of the two were opened, and they knew they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves and made themselves loincloths. And the Lord God called to the human and said to him, "Where are you?" Like God doesn't know. And he said, "I heard your sound in the garden, and I was afraid, for I was naked, and I hid." And he, God, said, "Who told you that you were naked?" Knowledge, naked, shame. All connected. This told God that man had eaten of the fruit of the tree of knowledge. God had to do something. Genesis 3:20. Now that the human has become like one of us, knowing good and evil, he may reach out and take as well from the tree of life and live forever. Well, that had to be prevented. So the first emotion that we're given is shame. The negation of self. Why not love, peace, happiness, joy, congruency, all the wonderful things? What do you want to teach your children to embrace emotionally? What do you want to embrace now yourself or for the rest of your life? Shame has been inculcated into your soul, and it's time for it to leave. I'm a loser. I'm a loser. And I'm not worth And so it's true, pride comes before a fall. I'm telling you so that you will lose all. You know what? No matter what anyone says, you are not a loser. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free. Honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. An end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, maybe especially yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey. Because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It is our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. Now, as I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Then ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey, my friends. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love, it's always in front of you. And remember the faith and unwavering adherence to principle. Just as I have faith in the principle of love, and all of you, act with purity of heart and mind, despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all, honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go, and work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you because you're never alone. You are forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, renewal to everybody you come across, because we're all energy, and energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief in what they mean to you, and just to you, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together, and we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them. Tell them what they mean, and remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They hurt you, they heal you, they imprison you, and they free you. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, whatever it is to you, talks to you now, talked to you long ago, telling you how easy the mystery of life really is. Creation gave us blue skies, and they are still there. Look at the blue skies. Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Well, thank you for joining me, my friends. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving, and be yourselves. And continue to make love, compassion, and forgiveness a greater part of who you are. Enjoy your week, and I will see you all soon. Shabbat Shalom, and blessings to you all. Take care.